Hello, this is Vish Krishnan. In this module, we are going to discuss one of the fundamental techniques to understand and improve a service system. This is called service mapping and blueprinting. This simple but powerful technique becomes a valuable skill to both come up with new innovative service ideas and also improve existing service organizations. Our approach entails drawing a picture of the service system to grasp its inner workings. The picture helps us understand the customer's journey, how the system functions at its core, and how it interacts with its customers and the internal as well as external environment. Because this is a service system, customer interaction is key, and mapping the customer journey is one of the first things we will do. Let's begin at the beginning with some definitions. Service map is really a diagrammatic description of an existing service system, like a theater, a restaurant, or a bank. A map that shows how the system works, how it interfaces with its customers, fulfills their needs, and captures value. Service blueprint, on the other hand, is a pictorial description of a proposed system, not a current system. And it's used in the design and the construction of a new system, much like we might use a design blueprint for building a new building or a new monument. Blueprints help us come up with a high-performing service system as an outcome. These terms, maps and blueprints, are sometimes used synonymously, interchangeably in practice. But for our purposes, we'll distinguish them as follows. A map is used to describe an existing system, and a blueprint to conceive, design new systems. In the mapping case, we are trying to describe an existing service system. In the blueprinting case, we are trying to prescribe a new service system. In both cases, we are depicting several layers separated by dotted lines demarcating various boundaries. We begin at the top with the customer journey, or the actions that a customer undertakes in the service setting. Customers and organizations and organizational employees interact across the line of interaction. Such employees who interact with customers are often called frontline employees. Below the line of interaction, we show the front office contact employees' actions. Below the front office employee actions is the line of visibility that separates what is visible to the customer from what is not so visible to the customer. Anything below this line of visibility is the back office work that is invisible to the customer. And below this line, we show back office employee actions. And well below this are the support processes, the infrastructural activities that form the core of the organization. The last line, the line of internal interaction, separates specific back office work done for the customer from enterprise-wide support infrastructure that can be leveraged across customers. A map or blueprint, therefore, shows the component steps or activities involved, the support activities, and the customer's experience of the service. These are particularly useful in the design and redesign stages of a new service. And they also help align the varying views of different people involved in delivering the service: customers, employees, owners, managers. Let's understand the service map and blueprint with a concrete example. Consider your visit as a customer to your favorite eatery restaurant, be it a burrito place, a pizzeria, or even a fancy restaurant. Your journey as a customer entails several steps, starting with your arrival at the eatery. Then you wait to be checked in and seated. Then you might order drinks, appetizers. You then decide what entree to order and wait to place an order. The food arrives, you enjoy it, place more orders like desserts, pay, and then leave. Of course, some steps are combined in the case of a fast food restaurant. For example, you order once all the items you need and may also pay up front. For now, let's consider a sit-in restaurant to understand a service map. Your journey as a customer involves many points of contact with the service professionals. These are called the touch points for the service facility. Like when you're seated, when you place an order, when you pay. All these are touch points. To understand a service, we need to map these touch points at the line of interaction between the customer and the frontline employees. If we want the customer to have a good experience, want them to become a satisfied, delighted customer, we must practice and perfect this customer interaction and be prepared to improvise as necessary. Quite often, this needs a performance, a theatrical performance to entertain and delight the customer. A Jay Leno show, Stephen Colbert would be even better. But there still need to be some preparation for this show. Beyond the interaction, the service system must exert effort to meet the customer needs. Food must be prepared. A clean ambience, a nice ambience needs to be maintained. How this is done may not be visible to the customer. These back office tasks happen below the line of visibility. So anything below this line of visibility is invisible to the customer. And this is therefore called the back office. We strive for efficiency in this area, like in a factory. We want good food to be prepared as fast as possible in an economical manner, like in a factory. Now, deep inside the service system, well below the line of visibility, there are support systems and infrastructure that help ensure the functioning and the success of the system. We need a good differentiated design concept and an appealing menu for customers to come here. We must ensure capacity, adequate supply of servers, even chefs. The restaurant must procure ingredients, raw materials, good ones, and it must have the know-how. Finally, the system must maintain good relationships with its suppliers and also good financial and accounting systems to ensure smooth functioning. So these are at the core of the enterprise. In summary, to ensure superior performance, a service system like the restaurant must manage both tangible and intangible elements. Tangible elements are on the y-axis. Good, fresh health food is necessary, but not sufficient. We need robust interactions, the intangible elements. We need superior management of this intangible experience. Otherwise, customers will not return and may even go and complain on sites like Yelp. So good service management is about anticipating these interactions to ensure success, but also to recover fast from any service failures to achieve a loyal, even a cheerleading customer. Successful management of such high-contact services requires empathizing with the customer, understanding what they are going through, understanding their anxiety, their stress levels during the waiting, at even arrival, and also at the payment. So here is a chart that shows how the anxiety or stress level may fluctuate, and we want to understand that. And the key here is to try to manage this stress and anxiety with countermeasures, such as rich communication and process design to minimize the anxiety. For example, by explaining the wait, why there is a wait, and how much the wait might be. Suppose you're now considering opening a new restaurant. You will be designing this new service experience. This is when you draw a blueprint of the service system to decide how the customer will interact with your system, what you anticipate to be the customer's journey, and the process and support tasks needed to fulfill the customer. You will seek to specify the physical ambience for the customers, anticipate principal customer interactions, define that line of interaction between the customers and your front office personnel. You will define standards for various front office activities. You even demarcate the line of visibility between the front and back office. Set service standards for back office activities and make sure everything is failure proofed so that we can have a smooth customer experience. If you're blueprinting a restaurant, you would start by specifying certain standards like manage seating and take order within 5 minutes. Serve the food in 15 minutes. Ensure that the food is of good quality by checking with the customer at least once. We also decide what to keep below and what to keep above the line of visibility in designing the service experience. For example, you may decide whether the customer gets to see the food being made or not. These are important choices and have implications for the type of customers you attract and how much they pay and how you grow as a business. So compare and contrast two different Mexican fast food places like a Chipotle and a Rubio's. At Chipotle, you get to see the food being assembled, being made. So making food is above the line of visibility. At Rubio's, for example, food preparation is below the line of visibility. You don't get to see the food being made. So these are two different design choices that these organizations have made in their blueprinting exercise. Think about it. The next time you visit a service facility, how they have designed their facility. So customers may be entertained by seeing the food being made, but it may also slow down the food preparation. So there are trade-offs. That's the heart of service design. So what the service mapping and blueprinting exercise shows us is that service quality requires enormous cross-functional, interfunctional collaboration, teamwork between operations, marketing, human resources, and other administrative functions of a company. To really deliver a seamless customer experience, these teams from operations and marketing have to come together and support each other. So mapping and blueprinting are really helpful to organizations to meet their service goals. After all, most organizations want to not just attract customers, but they want to satisfy them, if possible, delight them, make them come back, buy more, upgrade, and engage in more valuable relationships. So they want to retain them as customers for life, cheerleading customers. By engaging in mapping and blueprinting, we can identify opportunities and also challenges in improving the service quality at our enterprise. As you may have already guessed, there are a number of ways we can put service mapping and blueprinting to good use. Broadly speaking, for improving performance quality, and also to design new services. In the area of quality improvement, service mapping and blueprinting can help us in identifying weak touch points, recovering from service problems, service failures, conducting root cause analysis, and improving the interfaces and the processes that support the customer. But service mapping blueprinting is also invaluable for new service innovation and development, specifically service blueprinting. It is very useful in developing a service concept. So to build a service map or blueprint, we begin by defining and identifying the system to be mapped. We typically start by mapping the customer journey or customer experience map, as it's sometimes called. We define the customer or the customer segment we are going to map. Is it a student customer or an older family customer or a tourist or a business customer? After finishing this customer journey or the customer experience map, which is the topmost layer, we proceed to detail the organizational touchpoints and inter-organizational and support processes. So in summary, service mapping and blueprinting are a key approach to put the customer, frontline, and service organizations together into a single unified view of how a service works. You look at what customers see from outside, what the customer does, what the frontline employee does, and what goes on behind the scenes on the backstage. While mapping helps understand a current service system's operational features, performance characteristics, service blueprinting helps us visualize, formulate, choreograph new service approaches and solutions that are not even available yet. So both these approaches are helpful in the design and analysis of service systems to improve customer satisfaction, to create and capture value, and to get organizational performance.